Hi, everyone. Welcome to our weekly live immigration attorney chat. I'm attorney Megan Pastrana of Immigration for Couples, and I'd like to start out by welcoming all of our new members to our Immigration for Couples Facebook group. We're excited to have you, and we're excited to see that our group continues to grow. And then also congratulations to all of you in the group who have posted that you have received interviews and approvals at your interview for your fiance visa or for your spouse visa or adjustment of status. We've had a lot of great news in the group. And so congratulations. We're so excited for all of you. And thank you so much for sharing your great news. It's really important for other couples in the group to receive that support and to be able to see that light at the end of the tunnel. So for those of you who are new, the way that our weekly chat works is that we pick topics that we see that we're frequently receiving questions about, questions that we were receiving on our YouTube channel and our Facebook group, so we can give you clarity and address those questions to help you on your immigration journey. And so I see I have a lot of you who are joining now, so welcome. Thank you so much for being with us. If you want to just say hi in the comments, you're welcome to do that. And if you have questions, feel free to put those in the comments, and I will answer those at the end of the topic that we've chosen for this week. All right. One of the most frequently asked questions we have been receiving in the past few weeks and months is whether it's faster to do the fiance visa or faster to do the spouse visa. And I know a lot of couples almost become paralyzed by this decision. You know, in life, decisions are great, but sometimes when you have two paths and there's just so much conflicting and contradicting information on both sides, it makes you feel paralyzed and you're not sure what path to choose. So for those of you who are just starting out on your immigration journey, I want to quickly explain this alphabet soup of K1 and CR1 for those of you who are new to these terms. So the K1 is the fiance visa route, and then the CR1, and also called IR1 and also called a spouse visa, is the spouse visa route. So it's the difference between whether or not you file your immigration case while you're engaged or you file based on marriage. And so these are two very common options for couples. And historically, I will start out by saying historically, which has been fastest is the fiance visa. The fiance visa was historically the faster option for couples to be together. Before COVID, typically, we would be able to help couples be able to be together, get through the fiance visa process, typically in under 6 to 8 months, and be in the US. Those were the good old days. And we used to be able to actually complete the entire process from fiance visa through green card in under a year. Then immigration began to slow down, and then COVID happened. There were just backlogs in general with immigration, and then COVID happened, and things just really became very, very slow for the fiance visa. But historically, yes, that was the fastest option for couples to be together. And the part that becomes confusing about which option is faster is specifically that COVID and then the long delays that have been created by immigration backlogs. And so the answer to this question, I know no one likes to hear, but the answer to this question is it really depends which one would be faster based on your particular situation or your particular circumstances. But I want to go through what depends, what are factors to be taken into account when choosing between these two options. And so when we meet with couples, we ask, of course, a lot of questions to get to know them as a couple and to get to understand what their goals are. So one of the things that it depends is if you aren't married yet, how soon can you reasonably actually even get married to be able to file the spouse visa? Because if you can't actually be together, some couples say, well, I'm not going to be able to, we won't actually be able to be together for 6 months, 8 months, maybe a year. Maybe there's work obligations or with travel bans and things like that. There just might be things in the way that you actually can't be in the same country and get married anytime soon. So in that situation, we would tell couples, well, that's something really important to think about. If you actually can't be in the same place and you're not going to be able to get married soon, then it really would be faster to think about the fiance visa, because that is something that you can file right away once you meet certain requirements and you have actually met in person. So if you meet all the requirements for the fiance visa and you aren't going to be able to be together soon to get married, if that won't be feasible, then the fiance visa in that case would be likely a faster option. So that's one of the factors that we take into account on it depends. The other big part of it depends is it depends on what country the immigrant, the beneficiary is from. And so that's a very big thing, of course, that we ask and find out, what country are you from? Because while the US embassies and consulates don't do processing times, they don't clearly post processing times like USCIS, there are ways that we can check, and I have a video about that, how to check visa statistics. And I walk through in that video how you can check visa processing times in general, how many visas they've processed. But that's one of the tools we use. And then also we've helped hundreds and hundreds of couples, and we are able to see daily how things are moving, how things are progressing for certain individuals from certain countries. So we use this intel, this information to say, we see you're from this country, and this is kind of what we're seeing right now for processing times with the fiance visa or with the spouse visa. And so that's the other thing that depends. It depends what country you're from. And for some immigrants, we also, we ask everyone this: are you a citizen of multiple countries? Because that's something else that we use as a technique, is that if a person, if they're a citizen maybe of Australia and Japan and, United Kingdom, or if they have multiple countries, we kind of say, if you're a citizen of these other countries, it would be fastest for us to ask to have the interview in whatever country, a certain country that seems to be processing them faster. So the other part, again, of it depends, is it depends on that country. So I know there are a lot of rumors that the fiance visa is slower than the spouse visa, and that you shouldn't do the fiance visa, don't do the fiance visa. And then I hear the same with, don't do the spouse visa, it takes too long. And so they're rumors. It's just because each person has their own unique set of facts, their own situation. Everybody, of course, is going through this process has a unique relationship, and they have, everybody's from different countries, different situations, different times that they filed. So while that might be one person's experience, take that with a grain of salt, because it could be very different from you based on when you're filing and the specifics of your case and what countries that you could possibly process through for the fiance or spouse visa. So just know that right now, it'll really depend on which one is faster. We really are seeing certain couples from certain countries that we would recommend the fiance visa over the spouse visa. And then for others, we're actually seeing that the fiance and the spouse visa are processing at about the same time. So what we like to say here at Immigration for Couples is, while going through the immigration process and in life, there are a finite amount of things that we can control. And we cannot control the chaos that is immigration, but what you can control is taking steps forward and making a decision and getting something filed, and not letting yourself be paralyzed by that decision-making process. Hopefully that makes sense. I know I wish there was just a crystal clear answer, but really it depends. And I would highly recommend, if you're starting out at the beginning of your immigration journey, our firm created a free green card webinar that walks through the various options that are available to couples and helps you to get clarity and understand next steps. And we have a free resource center on our website, Immigration for Couples, where we have videos and charts and a lot of information to help give you clarity and kind of help you get clarity on the truth of things that you hear out there in the world of immigration for couples. So I hope all of that information helps, and that you can check out our free resource center, again, at Immigration for Couples.